The grand chamber of the Galactic Council shimmered with refracted starlight. Massive spires of translucent alloy curved into a dome that seemed to touch the void itself. Within, the most powerful minds of 1,000 civilizations gathered, and yet today their attention was fixed on a single figure standing in the center. A human. Ambassador Elias Ward of the Terran Union stood alone, his boots echoing softly on the crystalline floor. Around him, alien dignitaries whispered, laughed, and muttered in frequencies that barely translated into sound. His file, glowing faintly on every delegate's data console, described his species as recently spacefaring, emotionally volatile, and environmentally unstable. The chair entity, a being of drifting light and translucent tendrils, flickered in amusement. "Representative of Sol 3, it said, its voice layered in harmonics. "We have reviewed your petition for recognition as a sovereign civilization, but we are curious." Hundreds of eyes, lenses, and sensors turned toward him. "How," the chair continued, "did your species emerge from such a world? Your planet is water, unstable, corrosive, chaotic." The chamber erupted in ripples of laughter. Clicks, trills, vibrations. The sound was alien, but the meaning unmistakable. Mockery. Counselor Ureth of the Virial Hive Mind clicked its mandible sharply. "The records cannot be accurate," it hissed. "No dominant species could evolve on a world of liquid. It would dissolve its own structures." Elias's lips twitched, not quite a smile, but close. His posture remained calm, controlled, the kind of calm that unnerved those who didn't understand humans. "Perhaps you're right. Perhaps no ordinary species could." The laughter dimmed slightly, replaced by confusion. The human tapped a device on his wrist. The lights in the chamber dimmed, and above him bloomed a sphere. Blue, white, and alive. Earth. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Oceans shimmered under sunlight. Clouds danced across continents. Storms swirled like living creatures. "This is our home. We call it Earth. 71% of its surface is covered by what we call water." The translation system stuttered. The word had no direct equivalent in the galactic lexicon. "What is water?" asked Counselor Drex, its crystalline body refracting confusion. Elias tilted his head, as if pondering the question. "It's the foundation of all life on our world. A liquid that shapes, erodes, builds, nourishes, destroys. It flows freely across our planet, within our bodies, even through the air you're breathing right now." Disbelief flooded the hall. "Impossible," Ureth spat. "Uncontained liquid is death. Chaos. No species could—" "Survive?" Elias interrupted gently. "We didn't just survive it. We evolved because of it." For the first time, silence fell. The Council, a body that had mocked empires in sentenced worlds, leaned closer. "What are you implying, human?" the chair asked softly. Elias smiled, a quiet, dangerous curve of his lips. "You see, counselors, we come from a planet that fights back." And for the first time in the chamber's long history, the laughter stopped.
The chamber lights dimmed further as the holographic image of Earth expanded, filling the dome with swirling blue and white. It was unlike anything the Council had ever seen, a world not carved from sterile metals or sculpted crystal, but alive. Oceans glittered beneath sunlight, clouds coiled like breath over continents. The alien delegates leaned forward instinctively, their forms reflecting the light of a planet that pulsed with motion. Elias Ward's voice carried through the chamber, calm, resonant, almost reverent. This is our home. We are not the masters of it. We are its students. Thunder rumbled from the projection. The sound startled several delegates. The crystalline members of the Drexian coalition flickered with alarm. "Your world screams," hissed a vaporous entity from the Threxian ascendancy. "It's unstable. Why would life remain there?" Elias turned to face the counselor, his expression unreadable. "Because stability breeds stagnation. Our world tested us every day. The winds tore down our shelters. The seas drowned our ancestors. The ground itself shook and burned. Yet every time Earth tried to kill us," he paused, letting the silence stretch, "we adapted. We endured. We learned." He gestured to the image above. The hologram shifted, waves colliding with cliffs, forests bending under storms, rivers carving canyons over centuries. Then the image zoomed in, microscopic life, cells dividing, evolving, reshaping, a chaotic ballet of creation. "This is water," he said. "It builds mountains as easily as it destroys them. It's patient, persistent, eternal." A crystalline delegate whispered, "But it erodes. It consumes everything it touches." "Yes," Elias nodded, "that's what makes it perfect. It doesn't stop. It doesn't yield. It finds a way through, around, beneath, always." For a moment no one spoke. The concept unsettled them. The galaxy's civilizations had long abandoned planets like this, too volatile, too unpredictable. They built their homes in orbital habitats and void citadels, where nature could not intrude. Elias continued, "We didn't build our civilization despite our world's fury. We built it because of it. The sea taught us humility. The storms taught us respect. The floods taught us how to rebuild. Every failure became a lesson carved in salt and wind." Images filled the air, humans sailing across endless oceans, explorers scaling frozen peaks, divers plunging into abyssal trenches where sunlight died. "You call it chaos. We call it home." Counselor Eurus' mandibles clicked in disbelief. "And yet you claim to control it now?" Elias gave a faint smile. "No. We don't control it. We listen to it. It's the heartbeat of our planet and of us." The projection zoomed closer, to human faces under rain, to tears indistinguishable from the sea, to thunder reflected in human eyes. Our world made us adaptable, relentless, like the water itself. As the hologram faded, silence held the chamber once more. For the first time in millennia, the Council, beings older than some suns, felt something they couldn't name. It wasn't fear. It was awe. For several long moments, the Galactic Council said nothing. The projection of Earth had faded, yet the sound of its crashing waves still seemed to echo through the crystalline walls. Delegates shifted uneasily in their seats, their bioluminescent skin dimming to muted shades of thought and discomfort. At last, the chair entity spoke. Its form wavered between shapes, colors rippling with curiosity and unease. "Human," it said slowly, "your world is violent. You claim to have learned from it. But violence breeds extinction, not wisdom. How did you survive such hostility?" Elias Ward turned toward the chair, hands clasped behind his back. His eyes, cold and steady, carried the same deep stillness as the oceans he had just shown.
"We didn't just survive it. We became it," he replied, quietly. The hologram reignited above them, not of the planet this time, but of humanity's history. Ships made of wood cutting across angry seas, sails cracking under black skies. Storms that swallowed fleets whole, yet men and women kept returning to the water, again and again. Our ancestors sailed blind into the unknown, guided only by stars and stubbornness. We lost thousands to the deep, but each voyage taught us more. Each failure made us stronger. The image shifted. Submarines diving beneath crushing pressure, astronauts floating above a blue world that looked small and fragile. We learned to breathe where no air existed, to endure heat that melts stone and cold that freezes bone, to command storms and later, stars. A low, resonant hum spread through the delegates, not of amusement this time, but fear. Counselor Dreck's crystalline form flickered nervously. "Your world forged you in adversity. But why risk it? Why not leave?" Elias's tone hardened slightly, the hint of pride beneath it unmistakable. "Because Earth is alive. Every day it demanded something from us. Strength, patience, courage. It taught us to fight for every sunrise. You built perfection in silence. We built survival in chaos." Images flickered faster now. Volcanoes erupting, lightning carving through skies, waves swallowing coastlines. And amidst all that fury, humans rebuilding, standing, adapting. "You fear instability," Elias continued, his voice rising with quiet intensity. "But we learned that stability is a lie. Everything moves, shifts, evolves. We are not children of control. We are children of change." One delegate, a being of pure plasma, muttered in disbelief, "You worship a planet that tries to destroy you." Elias smiled faintly. "No, we respect it, and in return, it made us unbreakable." Silence settled again, but this time it wasn't mockery or disbelief. It was calculation, a quiet realization threading through the chamber. The council had seen warlike species before, brutal, efficient, logical, but never one shaped by a world that had forced them to earn every breath. Counselor Yurth's mandibles clicked nervously. "If this is what your world forged, what happens when such a species turns its will upon the galaxy?" Elias glanced up at the faint blue hologram of Earth, spinning serenely above him. His voice was soft, but edged with iron. "Then the galaxy will learn what it means to face a storm that never stops coming."
A stillness hung over the council chamber like deep water, heavy, unbroken, impossible to breathe in. The delegates who had once mocked the primitive bipeds now sat silent, their collective arrogance dissolving under the weight of revelation. The hologram of Earth still hovered above them, a glowing sphere of blue and white, fragile yet eternal, violent yet alive. The chair entity's voice came at last, softer this time, almost cautious. "Ambassador Ward, you've shown us much, but why tell us this? Why come before us at all?" Elias looked up, and the hologram brightened, painting his face in hues of ocean and cloud. "Because you asked what our world is made of, and you deserve the truth." He tapped a small device on his wrist, and the projection shifted. Now the chamber filled with scenes not of nature, but of humanity itself. Vast cities gleaming under rainfall, ships cutting through frozen seas, engines roaring beneath storm-gray skies. "We were forged in the water's image," Elias continued. "It taught us to adapt, to move, to change shape when struck,
and to strike back with patience. Lightning cracked through the holographic sky, thunder rolling through the chamber. A few delegates flinched instinctively. Elias's gaze swept over them, calm but unyielding. Water taught us persistence. You can evaporate it, freeze it, boil it, and it still returns. Every form, every state, still the same essence. You can't destroy it. You can only delay it. He lifted a small glass vial from his belt, a single drop of water swirling inside. The light from the hologram caught it, and the entire chamber seemed to shimmer with blue reflections. This is what our world is made of, and so are we. He tilted the vial, letting the drop fall. It struck the crystalline floor, and for a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, the impact rippled outward, light bending and refracting across the chamber like the first wave of a storm. You built civilizations on control. We built ours on motion. When you encounter resistance, you retreat. When we encounter resistance, he stepped closer to the council's core dais. We carve through it. Several councilors exchanged uneasy glances. The chair entity's form flickered. Is that a threat, human? Elias smiled faintly, the kind of smile that could mean mercy or warning. No, it's a law of nature. He turned toward the hologram of Earth, now casting light like a sun. Our world never stops. The tides don't wait. The storm doesn't ask permission, and neither will we. For a long moment, no one spoke. The sound of waves, ancient, endless, filled the silence. Finally, the chair whispered, "What are you planning to do with the stars?" Elias didn't look back as he walked toward the exit, his silhouette framed against the glowing blue sphere. We're not planning anything. We're simply expanding the shoreline. The chamber's doors closed behind him, and in the vast, glittering silence of the council, one thought echoed in every mind. If this is what water creates, what will the galaxy become when humanity flows through it?